Hi there, it's Becky Raisler. I have Becky's Journals on Instagram and on YouTube. Today I'm going to show you two journals that I just finished putting together. One is, these are both Reader's Digest journals that I made. I repurposed the covers and rebuilt the interiors. So I'm going to show you the difference between these two newly made journals. This one is brand new. I just sewed the signatures in. And this one, I have been through it a few passes to put in pockets and tags and journaling cards and everything. And so I want to show you the difference between the two. Both are the same size, except for the spine. The spine on this one, when I made the cover, I was taking out the book block and I accidentally cut the spine. So I went ahead and removed the spine, and the spines are pretty flimsy, really. But I went ahead and removed the spine and rebuilt the spine to a wider one because I like a wider spine. The spines for the original book, the original spines are only about 1.5 inches wide, and I prefer a wider spine, and this one is 2.25 inches wide. And I do that, the wider spine, is because I like to have at least 1 inch per signature on the spine, and that I made this one 2.25 inches. I've got 2 signatures, and if you put less in your journals, you can have more pages in your signatures. But this one only has 9 pages per signature, full unfolded pages per signature that I made. Each of these pages is pretty thick because they've been, lots of them have been collaged on the back of scrapbook paper, or this one is extra thick because it was wallpaper. But I wanted to show you, I've got 9 pages per signature in this book, 2 signatures, so that's 18 total unfolded pages, times 4 would be 72 pages total. Now this does not include all the fold outs, flip ups, envelopes, tuck spots, pockets, and all that stuff that I would be adding. But this is a brand new journal. It's called a Naked Journal, and it doesn't have any embellishment in it at all. So I wanted to flip through it real quick so you can see how I start to work on these journals once I first put them together. So this is just a scrapbook paper, and the back I have collaged a dictionary sheet, a dictionary page onto the back of it to cover that white up. I always cover the white up on the back page. This page has been, let's see, I've got some hand dyed, and you may not be able to see it very well. Hold it up there for you. It is hand dyed paper, and then I've got a hand dyed paper doily that I've glued part of that doily on top of it. And this one is sewing patterns, vintage sewing pattern that I just collaged over the back of it, of the scrapbook paper. This was a scrapbook page that I inked fully, and then I stenciled on top of the page. So I finish out the background pages. I also round the corners and ink all the edges. And so this is a collaged page. So each page is going to be very, very thick, with collage and added trim and pockets and full of lots of ephemera. So that's why my journals, when they first start out, this is what they look like. I mean, that's how I start with them. And then when I finish them, they're bulging gator mouths. This is the one that I just finished putting the first layer of decoration in, and I'm going to go through this one today. And this one, I was able to save the original spine. So this original spine is 1.5 inches, and what I did was I deconstructed the book, took the original book block out, and reinforced the inner spine with cardboard layers and Tyvek and all kind of stuff. And then I sewed in new signatures. This one is 7 3/4 inch tall, 5 1/4 inches wide, 1.5 inch spine. It's got 7 pages in each signature, 7 full unfolded pages in each signature, 2 signatures, so 14 pages times 4 is 56 total pages. But that does not include, I think there's about, oh gosh, at least 12 fold outs or flip up pages, and lots and lots of pockets and belly bands and what have you. So let me run through this real quick and I'll show you what I've got so far. One thing I've done different, this is the second time I've worked with Reader's Digest books. I sold the one that I had worked on before, the blue one, and thank you to whoever got it. I loved it. This one I'm doing a little bit different because when I was going through the book block, both of these books are from the late 1950s. I think 1957 or 1959, I forget right offhand. But back then, the Reader's Digest condensed book had lots of hand-drawn, hand-painted illustrations in them. And so I went through the book block and pulled out tons of illustrations from the original book and used it to decorate this book. So I'm real happy the way it turned out. The first page, I've got the title page from the original book, tore and placed in there. And then the bottom of it is layers of different kinds of lace that I put. I'm considering, and I don't know whether I should or not, but I'm considering adding this feather that I found in my front yard, little bluebird feather, right there. But I haven't decided, so I'm going to leave the feather in the pocket here. This pocket is made from a vintage dresser scarf, and I just cut it out and glued it onto some cardstock and used it as a, excuse me, used it as a pocket. And here is one of my tags that I've made. But a lot of these pockets have unfinished ephemera in it that I happen to have. This is Kool-Aid dyed paper. But they'll all have something in the pockets. And let's see what. Now this book is already full, and you could leave it like this. If I continue working in it, it'll end up, you know, you won't be able to close it right. It'll be real fat like that. So it just all depends on whether you like to write or draw in your journals. Some people paint in their journals. It's all up to you, however you want to do it. There's no rules. I made a big batch of collage masterboards, and then I made tags before I started working in this journal. So I had a bunch of pre-made ephemera on hand to put in the pockets. Here's one of the original illustrations. This is the table of contents from the original book. If you're not familiar with the old Reader's Digest condensed books, what they were books that included 4 or 5 stories that were taken from original novels that had been condensed or shortened to all fit into this book. So you could read all these shortened books, all shortened stories. And so like this one has Lobo, which is about a dog, and flip out, and there's the dog in one of the full page illustrations that I did. This is called a tip-in, where you fold the edge of the paper and glue it down, and then you have a fold over. That's a tip-in. But anyway, we've got The Century of the Surgeon, which is another story, and then By Love Possessed and Duel with a Witch Doctor and Warm Bodies. I wasn't able to get any illustrations out of the Warm Bodies, and that was about a survival thing about but anyway, it didn't have many usable illustrations and because it wasn't illustrating things that went with the aesthetic of my journal. But anyway, I'll show you here what I have done. This is what one of my newly finished journals looks like. Every page has some kind of inspiration on it. This one has a belly band and then a couple of cards that I begun and have not finished. If this one hangs around for a while, I'll get back to finishing them all. Here's a original illustration from the book that I did a flip out with a writing spot. Lots and lots of writing in this spots in this one. If you want to write in your journals, write in your journals. If not, load them up with your personal ephemera, your keepsakes, favorite quotes, photographs, just whatever you like. That's what you do. If you like to paint or draw in your books, do that. If you like to doodle, if you like to collage like I do, just keep on piling stuff on top of what's here until it looks like something that you want to keep and look at. This journal, I went ahead and put a lot of my personal collection of antique trims. This is handmade lace right there that I put on that one. This is not vintage, although it looks it, but it's lace that I bought new. But some of the laces that are in this are handmade. This page is stamped, and it's the back of this wallpaper border from the 80s, I think. Does that look like the 80s to you? And in the back of this wallpaper border, I stenciled. All the corners are rounded. You don't have to do any of these details like rounding the corners or inking the edges or any of that stuff. It's just on what the personality of the journal that you're making is. You can make it a true junk journal, or you can make it fully decorated. It's just the way you like to do it. I enjoy the decorating part so much that it's hard to stop. But here's another original illustration, and it's done in black and white. So this page was from a coffee table book, a gardening coffee table book. This one is inked and stenciled. Another flip up there. More antique lace. I went to a estate sale, and the lady was a crafter, and she also handmade lace, and she sewed, and she had one of her bedrooms upstairs was full of nothing but stacks of fabric. And then another room was full of nothing but sets of drawers and drawers and drawers and drawers and boxes loaded with trim. And I was lucky enough to get there and get a hold of some of this stuff. Here is a corner tuck that I had in my pre-made stash of goodies. Here's some journaling cards that I have not finished that I tucked in there. Here's a side pocket on this one. More journaling paper and some ephemera that I happen to have on hand. That's, if I would keep adding, I would add trim on every edge. And this is from the original book, and this is from the original book, and then this flips out, and then you've got illustration from the original book. There's an original illustration. This one has a doily on it and some stamping. Another flip up, lots and lots of fold outs and flip ups. I decided that this was the right book for having lots of them. And I may add more. I may add another one here. And I may add some scrapbook paper or some line paper down here to increase the writing space. Or I may not. I may leave that to the next person who has this journal. There's a page from the original book that I put in there, and the back of it has a summary of what the story is about. One of my pre-made corner tucks, and here is some hand-dyed tags that I've not finished. They need to be decorated. Here's some tags that journaling cards that I've started and haven't finished decorating. In the back of this paper, I glued a page from a child's spelling workbook. Here's another flip out. This was a vintage music sheet, piano sheet, I think. Another flip out. And another flip out. Lobo was one of the stories, and here's a summary of what Lobo was about. It was about a dog, and here's one of the original illustrations. This was also an original illustration. This is an older couple sitting on a park bench. Really unusual. But I've never seen anybody keep these old illustrations in their books before, and so I thought I'd show you how I did this because I really like it, and it leaves some of the integrity of the old book, but I didn't mind cutting this book up at all because the stories were so old-fashioned, and you know, today's values are I don't know. I don't want to get it. This is the second time I've done this video because the first time I got into an equal rights rant. That's hard to say. Equal rights rant about you know, women's lib and all. But I promise you I won't get into it here. More original stuff, more original stuff, more original stuff. Corner pocket made from a masterboard. Some ephemera I happen to have on hand that I've not done anything with yet. Tucked in there. If you're interested in having one of my journals, I do have a playlist of what journals I have available. It's called Becky's Journals for Sale. And you can look at the playlist, and if there's one of the journals you want, leave a comment on the video that that's the one you want. Then send me a direct message on Instagram at Becky's Journals, or on Facebook at Rebecca Roesler, R-O-E-S-L-E-R. And tell me that you're interested in buying the video, in buying the journal. And please send me your shipping address so I can give you the total cost of the journal with the shipping cost. And if you agree to the price, then well, I'll send you a PayPal invoice. It's as easy as that. But I've got 13 available. I'm going to add this one to it if you're interested. And if I stop working in it, which I think I am. I think I'm ready to go on to this one and put all the pockets. I'm kind of, that's the fun part, you know, is decorating and getting all the pockets and stuff in it. There's a handmade hidden paper clip. See how I've got that there? I do both sides of my hidden paper clips, and I do have videos on making hidden paper clips and all kind of stuff if you're interested. I have a playlist of my videos for Becky's art tips and tutorials, I think, or something along that line. But you can take a look at my playlist and see. And then I've got the holes in the back where the ribbon wraps around. But I sure appreciate you watching, and let me know what you think. Your comments really mean a lot to me. I love to know that other people get what I'm doing. I don't know, you may be like me that, none of your family or friends or anything understand what we're doing with these journals. But if you like it, let me know. Please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and give this journal video a thumbs up if it gave you some ideas that you can use in your own journals. I appreciate it. You have a great day. Bye-bye.